Thanks for downloading this episode of the Nerdball Podcast. Episode 198 is upon us, and as we inch closer to 200, I can't thank you all enough. It's been a great 3 years. We're at 200. Can't wait for the next 100. See where we end up there. Who knows where this podcast can take me and the rest of the Nerdball crew over here at Nerdball Network. I appreciate all of your likes and shares and subscribing to wherever you listen to this podcast, and also subscribing to YouTube. I want to try to get to 150 subscribers by the end of the year. I think that'd be a good Christmas present for the Nerdball Podcast here. So let's try to make that happen. Share this podcast however you listen to it. Share it that way, because I will take subscribers anywhere. So as we reach 200, again, thank you all for always being a part of this podcast and involving yourself in the day-to-day lives of my guests 2 hours a week. I will try to keep it to 2 guests a week. Actually try to attain 2 guests a week, as it's been a little more difficult, but I think I can handle it. I got people waiting that I just need to get back to and schedule something. So that's good, I guess, right? So as we continue on this podcast journey, again, reach out to us at the nerdballpodcast@gmail.com. All the social medias, check them out. Check us out there. Leave comments. I guess I got to post stuff for you to leave comments. I got to do a better job on that. So, but yeah, thank you all. My guest is our receivers coach for Perrysburg High School, a friend of mine. Graciously came on very short notice, so I appreciate him coming on, and I appreciate all of you. And I have a good day. Enjoy this episode.
I'm Gary Allen, and this is the Nerdball Podcast.
This is the Nerdball Podcast with Lorenzo Melcher.
Great, Gary. Thanks for joining me on the podcast. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good. We spent like 3.5 months together, and a whole week went by, and now I'm with you again.
I felt like I haven't seen you in a month, man.
I know. Normally I ask, what you nerd out about, but I had a different question for you. Is what completely changes now that football's over? Not just the fact that we're not doing football, but like at your house, like, is there something? Every wife has a little smirk when football season's over. They're a little bit sad and probably more happy. But what completely changes when you're not doing football?
So she's had everything on point for the last 6 months or however long it's been. So I feel like I'm not helping as much as I should, because she's been so used to doing it all. So I find myself in the way a lot. But it's good. It's weird. It's really, really weird.
You're like a new dad. You're like, wait.
Who's this lady and 3 kids that are living with me right now? I got to introduce them.
Well, I talked about it on the podcast I released on Monday that I want to help do things, but I also don't want to disrupt what's been working. So you got to try to pick your spots, or when there's seemingly I got to go pick up one of our kids. Oh, let me do that. I'm here. Let me do that. Oh, okay. Yeah, good. You can handle
and
that.
It's funny because I try to do stuff like that, but I just find myself in the way. And she's like, Gary, get out of the way. All right, sorry. I'll go, I don't know, do something. Usually it takes about a week and a half to get transitioned back from the craziness of football season to back to taking the kids to practice, to gymnastics, to cheerleading and all that whatnot. So,
yeah. And, mine does, I didn't really drop new news to Andrea today, but, I said, hey, what's your thoughts on me coaching basketball again this year? And she said, when does the season start? I go 3 weeks ago.
I was gonna say, didn't you start that a while ago? Oh,
yeah, funny. but I we were still doing football, and then last week because football was over, I immediately went to working 9 to 10 hour days all last week. So
It's like Will Ferrell. I don't know what to do with my hands. I just don't know
Yeah.
what to do with all this time.
Apparently spend more of it at work. It was last
Right.
week. So
That's funny.
so yeah,
How does she react to you
uh,
saying basketball?
questions as I thought, like when did it start? When does it start? What are the days? And I said Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday because I'm just a volunteer. And then I explained how I can still pick up Lillian and take Lillian to where she needs to be on those days because of how the schedule is. So I think I'm all right. I guess we'll
Nice.
see. Practice is tomorrow. So
Good luck with that.
there's a new coach too, because Lexi Marshall was the coach and she's not doing it anymore. So
Who is it?
his name is Michael Schroeder. I don't know
Michael
where he's
Shea.
I don't know where he's from or who he is. I was texting him with him today, just letting him know like, hey, who I am and that I'll be starting tomorrow and everything. But
Nice.
I don't know. We'll see. What are you coaching? You're always coaching something, even during football season.
So we actually had basketball today. The girls had basketball today. And we of course dominated, which was a good time. First and second grade basketball. They don't keep score. They're not allowed to steal, or any of that stuff. But my kids did, and referees blew the whistle, and we just gave the ball right back. So it was. We got. Let's see. So we're starting karate with Carter. He's gonna try
Oh,
karate.
okay.
Yeah, that's Monday. Then the girls have cheerleading on Tuesday. Then Addison has gymnastics on Tuesday. Then Wednesday, Sophie has gymnastics. Thursday, we're going to start upwards basketball practice for another league. And then Friday, I'm going to start training some jujitsu against a place in Genoa. It's going to be me, and I'm going to take my girls with me, and they're going to try it as well. So
That's what I was gonna ask you. So Carter's in karate,
mhm.
but so what? How come he's not doing jujitsu?
He's too young.
Okay,
The age is 6. It's 6 and up. And
got
the
it.
guy said last week when we went and asked him about it that there's like 5 or 6 kids in it, and also like 7 or 8 adults. And he's like, "So do you have any experience with it?" I'm like, "I a little bit back."
Okay.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I don't want to say anything. Show me get my butt whooped the first couple of days, but
Yeah.
fun.
Well, they'll ask you, even if it's not like super apparent, there'll be one thing that you do that's like quote unquote advanced, and they're like,
Right.
wait, what?
Wait,
Let's
what?
let's ask him a few questions
Yeah, I say
before.
all this stuff, but I'm going to show up and just get absolutely trounced by anybody and everybody
How'd it go? Tapped out 4 times. It was awesome.
by an 18-year-old girl.
I thought jujitsu looks fun. I
It's
always thought
so
about
much
doing
fun,
that.
dude. It
Yeah.
is so much fun. It's such a great exercise. And it's a great way to, I don't know, I don't really know how to say it, but like it sounds cheesy saying this, but like to get to know your body and know
Sure.
what your strengths and limitations are, and to trust other people not to kill you or break your arm or
Mm-hmm.
destroy your knee by letting go of a submission if they get it. So it's fascinating, man. I wanted to pick it back up and do it again for so many years, just couldn't find the time. And now it's like, you know what? This place is close to the house. Like my kids can, Addie and Sophie can try it.
That's an added bonus because if
Yeah.
you're going and you can take them with you or one of them and just like, again, going back to getting kids out of the house when we're during football season, like that's just an added thing. Like
Yes.
it makes it more likely to be like, yeah, you can do this thing because
Mhm.
you're taking them with you.
Yep.
Also, I think it's
100%.
a good like self-defense thing too,
That
right?
that's my biggest push for all 3 of my kids to do it, is because they'll at least have the knowledge of what to do if something were to happen.
Yeah.
If they were to put in some situation that makes them feel unsafe, that they could use some of this training to hopefully get them out safely. It's nothing. Jujitsu, it's not malicious. It's not meant to go out there and look for fights or look to hurt people. It's truly meant as a sport and to defend yourself in case everything else went wrong.
Yeah. My only thought is if someone just punches you right in the face and you're like, all right, I guess I gotta try to jujitsu this guy.
I guess I gotta choke you unconscious right now.
When obviously when you're in a fight, a match sanctioned thing, not a street fight, and you're trying to submit somebody, you're like 100% like, I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah,
submit this right, and I may break your arm. You better tap out. When you're just
yeah.
doing things like this, like if you get in someone in a position like that, like what's the percentage of you like just torquing on somebody's elbow or knee.
So,
Or
God, back 10 years ago when I was really taking it seriously, it all depends on the people you're training with. If you got guys that are fighters, you got guys that are legit, that know the holds and know the moves and know when, all right, I'm gonna keep fighting out of this, or I can get out of this, or I'm done. I mean, you for chokeholds, I don't know, man. I haven't talked about this in a while, but for chokeholds, like you squeeze in, the worst thing that will happen in a chokehold is they pass out. And it sounds awful to the non-trained person, but that's normal. I've gotten choked unconscious before. It's like a quick nap and you wake up. It's like, oh well, that sucked. And then you're good. For any like arm bars or knee bars or anything, twisting joint locks, you try not to torque it as much because you know that you got them. Usually when people, when you're training for a fighter, you're training and you get somebody in a hold like that, you get them and you kind of let go once you realize, hey, this guy's not going to tap. I'm not going to, sideline it for 6 months. I'll just let go and we'll just keep rolling.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I would feel like I could imagine you go to class on Friday and you come home and how your wife asks, how was it? And when your daughter's like, Daddy broke an arm.
I have done that. I did that before. Oh God, I did one time before. What did I do? It was his forearm. Good buddy of mine. I felt awful about it, but I was in the middle trying to fight and got him in an arm bar. And usually in the arm bar, you want to get your, if you're wearing a groin protective thing, you use that as kind of, leverage for, to hyperextend the elbow. And he pulled the elbow out and I got right here on his forearm. And I kind of just pulled really hard and felt it snap. And it was like, oh, dude, I am so sorry. Oh man, I'm so sorry. And he's like, no, I should have tapped. Yeah, you should have, but you didn't. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, I was like, what's he gonna do? He's not gonna fight you. He has a broken arm.
No, yeah, right.
That's cool, man. Yeah, we took a few classes. Me, Mateo, and I, and Andrea did a few classes of CrossFit. So now that football's over, I want to do some of that again because he said he liked it. So I wanted to keep fostering that thing and doing that. But yeah, jujitsu always. I had a friend who played football at BG and then became a firefighter and then started doing jujitsu. And he would always, every once in a while, would text me about it. Like, you should come do this. You should come do this. And I'm like, I don't know, man. My back is all effed and my knees messed up.
So the funny thing about that is I played 4 years of college football at Defiance. It was awesome. I was in so much better shape doing my body felt so much better from doing jujitsu and wrestling and martial arts, just because you're forced to heal. And I don't. It's that's why I said at the beginning that it's fascinating to do these things because you learn a lot about your body. And I've been out of it for so long, my body hurts so bad that I feel confident if I start this, those ouchies and boo-boos will start to go away. Like walking down the steps to get on the computer here, my ankle's like, God, my ankle hurt. Why does my ankle hurt? Like I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So I that's one of my goals for this. I just have to do the hardest thing, and that's just get up and actually go. Like getting up and actually going to the gym or getting up and actually going to the scheduled practice is the hardest thing.
What is this place called?
It's called so I used to train at USA Martial Arts over in Holland. This place in Holland over by Springfield High School. That place is amazing, by the way. This place is called USA Martial Arts, but it's in Genoa.
Oh, okay.
So I took Carter last week to try the karate class, and he sat on my lap the whole time, kind of nervous, which I expected it, but
at the same place?
At the same place, yeah. So we're gonna try it. We're gonna try it back again tomorrow. And
I can't imagine little Carter just like standing there and his little karate chops and stuff.
He walks up and punches me in the gut, man. That's how he says hi. He's like, "Hi, Daddy." It's like, oh, buddy, what the? Can I get a hug like a normal? Even leaving right now, him and Cindy took the kids to go see one of her friends that's in town, and you give him like, goodbye, guys. Give Addie and Sophie a hug and a kiss, and I'm like, goodbye, Carter, and he whop right in the gut. It's like, oh, dude, what the? All right, get out of here.
What are you teaching him?
How to defend himself.
You weren't even. You're raising a bully. You weren't even doing anything.
I know. I gotta stop that. No, it's fun.
It's funny. I talked about it during the football season because he came out. He was out there for a few practices, and I don't see your kids very often. It's about a year between when I see them, and like the amount Carter changed, not just like physically, but like emotionally and mentally. Where
Yeah.
yesterday or last year he didn't want to talk to anybody out there, and
Nope.
this time was just playing catch, just running around. He let me pick him up and like everything. It was
That's awesome.
cool to see.
And see, that's why I want to bring them around things that I do, so
Yeah,
they can build those social skills not only with little friends their size at school and daycare and all that stuff, but around the high school kids and around other adults and whatnot. I want them to feel comfortable around other adults around me instead of just clicking to my leg the entire time.
yeah, because that gets it's not annoying because you're their dad and you want them to love you and be there, but it's
Right.
like I think that it's you're frustrated because you're like, all right, yes, I know this is safe for you and I'm glad, but let's see what else is out there.
It's like, listen to what I'm saying, buddy. I'm never gonna do something where you're gonna be to put you in somewhere where it's gonna be scary. I'm right here. I know these people. Yeah, Lorenzo's scary looking, but he's a nice
Hell yeah.
guy. But no, just stuff like that, which makes me even more excited for next season to because they're gonna be older. And Addie's already talked about wanting to be a ball girl, and it's like awesome.
Oh,
Let's go.
nice.
We'll see. She'll be 9.
She can let's see. Every one of them I think is coming back, but there's always need of something because
Right.
everyone can't make it. And I get mad at Mateo sometimes because I look at him, he's not even doing anything. I go, you don't even at least hold the ball and pretend you're being a ball boy today.
It's hilarious. I
Max
like you can keep going. Max.
Max likes to hold like 3 footballs. I was like, Max, you got to at least give him one, man. Let him do
Oh,
something out here.
dude, you should have seen Max and Ben when Paul, I was with Paul at Genoa.
Yeah.
How Max and Ben were just how they were on the sideline and compared to what they are now, man. It's those little boys grew up playing football, man. It's so freaking awesome to see. I love seeing it, man.
Max is good. They're going to be in junior high now next year.
That's insane.
It was crazy. Yeah, it's crazy to think because then my first thought was like, all right, how did Paul work it so he could watch as much as Ben's games as he could because we were also coaching.
Yeah.
And I try to think like, I think you miss stuff every once in a while or would leave early or something, you know. So got to try
Yeah.
to fit that in.
But
I'm
see
sure.
and that's another thing. And this sounds like I'm kissing butt right now, but it's not. That's what makes Perrysburg so special and Dirk so special, and the staff that we have so special is we're all around the same. We all have kids, and Dirk understands if we have to leave early to go get
Yeah.
something that football is going to be there, and we're going to do our stuff to to keep the program growing. But our kids are only going to be little so long.
Yeah. Or gigantic in my case.
Or gigantic in your hey man, I wasn't gonna say it, but it was pretty funny watching Mateo play against that Oregon team. And you can say, hey, which one's Mateo's the one that's head and shoulders above everybody and literally takes up the entire left side of the line. It's awesome.
It was so frustrating because all season for him, like he played like he didn't care to be out there, and my dad kept telling me like that's exactly how you were, and I was just as frustrated as you. Looks like you don't want to be out there. You're the biggest kid, this and that, and and I always tell him like, hey, just look, dude, like you don't need to hop around. Just take the kid above in front of you and shove him back. Just keep
Yep.
going backwards, move him backwards. I was like, you don't have to block more than one kid. Just block that one kid, and you're bound to block him into somebody else. And his last game that he had, there was a tournament last weekend in Sandusky, and they lost 2 games Saturday and then another game Sunday morning. And that Sunday morning game, it was played different, man. He was pushing kids around at the end of the game. He's like, I had 11 pancakes. I was like, wow. I said I didn't count that many,
I
but
didn't
I
count
guess
that
we'll
many.
see what happens. There was a couple times where he hit a kid and knocked another kid over, like 2 kids in a row.
Nice.
So it was really good to see like the end of his
Yeah.
season be like I would wanted him to be all year. So we'll see going forward. Andrea did tell me like yesterday he was throwing the football. He's like, Mom, look at my spiral. Look how good I can throw it. And Andrea, she turned to me. She goes, does he have any hope of playing quarterback? I go, no, Andrea. I was like, I mean, he can try as much as he wants to try. He can say, Coach, can I play quarterback? And they're going to put him where they think he needs to be.
Maybe in
And
flag football once
he
at the
he
end.
did he did when he was younger, like when he was probably like 7, 8. He played quarterback when I was the coach, and but even then,
Obviously.
but even then, after that, at when I wasn't coaching flag football anymore, he was always the center and always snapped. But he liked it because you go out for passes. But he wants to be a receiver and he wants to go out. And the sooner I can get him to realize that that's not the deal, the better for him, because I knew how it was as an offensive lineman. It sucked until my junior year in high school. From 8 years old to junior year in high school, I was like, I hate every second of this. And then that's when I'm like, no, this is what I need to do, and I like it. So I don't know. The sooner he can realize that, the better, I think.
Yeah, offensive line was the one position I mean, when I was fourth grade, just first playing football, I think maybe I was number 77
When everyone weighs the same.
when everybody weighs the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never, so I can't empathize for that, man. Yeah.
I remember
Sorry, dude.
I think I was like in fifth grade, maybe sixth grade, and I was in Toledo, and everyone gets in the line. All the coaches want to see who could throw the best. So we're all throwing, and I throw a few times, and there's a new coach like, oh, this kid's pretty good. And they're like, who's that? They're like, Melcher, he's never going to make weight. He was right. I was never going to make weight.
Oh,
I don't know why they
shoot.
put me out there anyway, but yeah,
That's funny.
he loves that kind of stuff. But I think he'll be all right. He's gonna want to play tight end too, and even that's a pipe dream as well. So we'll see. Maybe one of those things where how we used Sam Yonker last year, where
Yep.
where we got to the
But
point where we were gonna throw him the ball, and then he got
Mhm.
hurt. So maybe it'll be one of those deals where it's
Put
like,
you
all
as
right,
an extra tackle with number 80.
yeah,
You're an extra tackle.
yeah. I don't know. We'll see. He
Or we
I don't-
just say,
I don't
yeah,
bring
dude,
his
you'll be tight end. Yeah, you're a tight end.
Why am I'm in the tight end slot. I'm the number I'm the third lineman on the right side, but I'm wearing a 70 number. Well, that's unbalanced. Sorry, son.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
not quite there.
Take that end down.
Just
Bury everything. Just keep
report in
burying
as
it.
eligible.
Yes.
Man, I'm still sick
That's gross.
from 2 Fridays ago.
2 weeks, man. You got the Rona?
Dude, I don't know. Someone asked me at work, did you take a test? I go, no, I didn't take a test.
No.
I'm
What?
sick. And guess what? She asked me like 5 days in. I go, guess what? By now, everybody's sick anyway. So
Yep.
I
Sorry, guys.
don't know what to tell you. Kids, my children were sick for about 2 hours, and I'm on 10 days, and Andrea just got it. I think she's on like day 5. So,
Nice.
and she leaves to go on vacation with her buddies on Friday morning. So
How
we'll
long is
see.
she on vacation for?
She's leaving Friday morning, and she's coming back like Monday night. It's real quick, but she's going to Disney World without us.
Oh, that sounds awful.
She keeps saying, she goes, I feel guilty. I go, don't worry about it. I'm not that. I don't really care. I mean, yes, I'd like to go, but I'm not that upset about
Have you ever
it.
been to Disney World before?
Me? Oh yeah. That's my favorite vacation, man. We went twice. I went once as a kid, and then as an adult we went 5 years ago, and then right after COVID we went again.
First time I ever went was when Cindy was like 7 months pregnant with Addison. So I was 29. First time I ever went. It was awesome. So much fun.
If,
And then
if
we
I had to
went-
guess, you, I would think you would love it.
Oh, it was amazing. And then we went again. God, what was it? 2 summers ago. Not this past summer, but last summer. With all my family and Cindy's family. It was so much fun. And we're
What's your
gonna
favorite part?
Universal.
Yeah,
Not the
we
superhero
haven't
stuff.
been there yet.
We didn't go last time, but when we went 8 years ago, yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I mean, the whole part's my favorite part. It sounds so cliche, but I think the first time I went, I was excited because it was my first time, and it was me, my brother, my sister, my parents, Cindy, her parents. Like, it was awesome. It was all us adults, no kids,
Yeah.
just adults. And that was fun. I enjoyed it the last time we went because just to see the reactions on my kids' face, because it's still so real to them. Like
Yeah.
meeting Belle or meeting, Buzz and Woody from Toy Story. It's so real in their eyes. And it's like, this is awesome. And we're actually going, no, nobody's here right now. So we're actually going on a Disney cruise next summer.
Oh, nice.
Kids don't know about it yet. So
Nice.
yeah, we're pretty pumped about that.
Yeah. Did they have little books to get autographs?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. When
Got
we went,
all the autographs.
when we went the first time, like Andrea was researching like all kinds of stuff, and she was on this Facebook page called like Disney Moms or something like that, and they would give you a bunch of ideas and stuff. And the one thing which you don't even think about, but it made the most sense, instead of getting like regular Sharpies, get the clickable Sharpies. So when you go to get autographs, it's a lot easier. You could just click it,
Oh,
hand it to
snap.
them, they sign it, you take it back, click it, put it in your pocket or whatever. But
That's a great idea.
yeah, same. Like when the kids were 7 and 4, we went, and they any autograph, seeing those characters, like that was the best part. And I don't know if I told you or not, but when we came back, it was the last night. We were at Magic Kingdom for like the third time. We were there for a week, and the fireworks are going off as I'm pushing the stroller out. It's our last night there. I start crying. Andrew's like, "What's wrong?" I go, "This is our last day. The kids are never going to be this little again. This is so magical."
Yeah, I think when we saw the fireworks there at was that Magic Kingdom?
Yeah.
I don't know what, yeah, Magic Kingdom. And I was all excited for the kids to see it. Sophie fell asleep in the stroller, and
Yeah.
I held Carter right here, and he passed out as well. I'm like, I'm so uncomfortable holding these heavy dead weight kids. But it was neat. Yeah, so I'm pretty pumped about next summer.
We
Going
did
on
a
to
lot
summer.
of we did a lot of cool things too, because we weren't going to like we went all out the first time because we were like, oh, we're just gonna do this one time. It's gonna be expensive, but we're gonna do everything. So one of the nights at Magic Kingdom, we paid for like a dessert party area to watch the fireworks. So we were in this like roped off area at one of the restaurants, and there was just desserts everywhere. So we were just eating dessert, sitting at a table, watching the fireworks go off. We stayed at Animal Kingdom, which is a really cool place to stay, especially
Hmm.
with kids, because they can go right on the balcony and just see a bunch of animals. Like we did all this high dollar stuff, and then we're like, well, we're going back 2 years later.
Yep, because
Now we
it's so
know.
cool.
Like now we know.
It's so cool. Yep, that's awesome.
Yeah, man,
Yeah,
it was a good time.
we went all out our first time there, and like this past time, or the first time we were there, we went all out on all like the souvenirs and the cool
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
I mean, I
yeah.
got
How
I
hard?
got this.
Oh
This was
yeah,
like
yeah.
150
Oh
bucks,
my
and it's
god,
just
what is
sitting
it
right
made
here.
out of? Titanium? What is it?
No, it's made of plastic.
That
Yeah,
was one thing too we didn't want to do, is we didn't want to go to Disney World and have to tell them no. You
yeah.
know what I mean?
So,
Yeah.
and I didn't tell myself no. I was like, so I got just a big Captain America shield just sitting. What, you don't have a Captain America shield just sitting right next to you?
Oh
Can
wait,
grab
no.
But so this next time, well, we skimmed on the food when the
Mm.
first time. So we're like, we'll just have sandwiches here and there, maybe go out to eat at like Applebee's or some chain that's not on Disney. We're like, we're not gonna do that this time. We're gonna do it with the kids. We're gonna actually have character meals.
Oh yeah, those are the best.
Dude, but did you ever foot the bill for one of them suckers?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Like $850 for
That's
an hour. It's
it's
like, what the
it's
hell,
expensive.
man?
Yeah.
But it was good. It was good food. And
Yeah, I didn't have. I was never disappointed in the food. In reality, I just wanted to make sure my kids eat. And every place we
right,
went had chicken nuggets or pizza or fries,
right.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But every meal we did was a character meal, and we went way overboard. We had like too many sit downs and a lot. We had so many snacks at the end where we went to in our hotel and used our little magic card or band or whatever, and just like had to buy a bunch of snacks because we had a bunch of snacks credit. So we just had like a suitcase full of food coming back with
Yes.
us. And
Now,
so
did you guys
there's
fly? Did you guys
mm,
fly down or did you drive?
no, we flew. We flew.
We drove.
Yeah, that's what we
It
used to
was
do.
it was bad. It was I want to fly next time, man. That 20-hour drive, no bueno, man.
It is not good. And that's how I went to Disney when I was like 9 or
Yeah.
10. We drove down there. It was me, my dad, my mom, my older brother, my two younger sisters, my grandma, and my uncle. And I want to say we were in a giant van, but possibly I think we took two cars, but I can't remember. I'm sure my parents will listen to this and they'll text me immediately, but I can't remember. And my brother brought a friend too.
Oh
Um,
my God.
but yeah, there was a lot of people down there. And I tell you what, though, we pushed my grandma in a wheelchair the whole time. And I don't know if they still do this, but at the time, we could take my grandma in the wheelchair at entrance for any ride, and we go all the way to the front.
Yep.
And then after a while, my grandma didn't want to go on the rides, but we kept making her do this stuff. And then at the front, she'd go, I don't want to go on a ride. And then we'd still get to go on, but she did.
Come on, Grandma, take one for the team. Good looking out.
Yeah, she did, and she did not. She decided, you know what? Second thought, she knew damn well what she was doing, but
That's awesome.
she's playing the system just like us.
That's awesome. Shoot, I'd do it too, man. With how much my ankles hurt, I'd be like, no, I need one of them wheelchairs. I gotta go.
So, what made you decide to do the cruise as opposed to going to the parks again?
So it wasn't really our idea. It was my in-laws. They've been on the Disney cruise and they said that it's amazing and that they think that the kids would love every second of it, and so they want to do it. It's like, all right, cool, let's do it.
I tell you what, it's going to be a lot less tiring. I tell you that, like than walking around the same parks all the time.
It's what they say, that Disney cruises ruin Disney for everybody because it's everything you want from Disney is all right there.
Yeah.
Like, all right, cool.
Yeah. Andrea actually just looked. She wanted to do we wanted to do, our kids are getting older and it's hard to get them stuff for Christmas. So we thought about going on a little vacation somewhere, doing something. And she just looked today and she found a cruise that we could do in January. It's like kids 12 and under are free. So both our kids would be free.
What?
Yeah. And it wasn't too bad. The price for a whole week, it was like $1,400 or something like that. So we might do that, but I want to
awesome.
I haven't been on a cruise since our honeymoon and I had a blast. So I think it's gonna be pretty cool.
Nice.
People, I mean, cruises are gross. Like if you know that going in, like what you're, and you don't have a false sense. It's like when you're gonna watch a movie and you're like, and you know what, like you're watching Saw. You're like, all right, it's not gonna win an Oscar, and you know that going in. Same thing on a cruise, even a hotel. Like you have some sense of like some level of grossness is here. Then I think it makes it better, as opposed to like going in thinking it's top shelf stuff and you should never see random hair somewhere. Then you're gonna have a bad time.
Yes. I think the unlimited drinks and food make up for the fact that it's pretty freaking gross.
If you have enough drinks, then you don't even see the gross.
That's right.
In fact, you probably add to it.
I was gonna say add to the gross. I'm down for that. That's awesome.
What else, Gary?
What else do you nerd about? What do you always ask your guests? What do you nerd about? What's something Lorenzo's nerding about now? Because mine is martial arts. So I'm excited to start the jiu-jitsu, football, my kids, my family, and Disney. So
can I tell you, it's funny because I already a little peek behind the curtain here at Nerdball Podcast. I have already recorded my 200th episode. Nice. So you are 198. And that was my buddy asked me that same question. And so I will leave that answer for that one and I'll pick a different answer. So, and I think it's because Mateo is super into it right now too, is Fortnite.
Dude.
Like it's always been something, right? It's always been something I do, but now I've been doing it a lot more. I think it's because I have a little more time. So even today, Mateo was like, you want to play Fortnite? And I love playing Fortnite with him. I'd much rather play Fortnite with him than Madden. He likes to play Madden too, but I'm just not into Madden. Right. But he's like, yeah. So we play Fortnite, and then we play with his buddies too. We played with one of his friends today. We won twice in a row, so that was good. I almost got myself in trouble though because Lily wanted to go outside and finish the leaves, and we won twice. And she's like, I thought you guys were gonna be done. I'm down in the basement with my headphones on. I know I'm in the basement with the headphones on, but I could hear Mateo or hear her. Mateo's upstairs on his headset, and I can hear. So I was like, send her down here. So she come down here. I was like, just sit on the couch. We'll be good. We'll be done in a little bit. Okay. So she kept like announcing, attention, 41 people left. 41. She kept saying all this stuff. But yeah, so we've been doing it a lot. Yeah.
Did you play back? Because now it's the OG map. And
I know nothing of that map at all.
So once Warzone, because that's my other nerd out thing is video games, is Warzone, Call of Duty, and whatnot. But I was real big into Fortnite. Some of my former basketball players, my coach of basketball at Genoa, got me into Fortnite back in 2018. And dude, it was so much fun.
Yeah.
But then Warzone came out, and I play Call of Duty a lot. Actually, I played it for almost an hour last night with my friends. After everybody's in bed, I'm sitting here at like 1:00 in the morning drinking coffee, trying to kill these Call of Duty, play zombies and whatnot. But anyway, so I flicked on Fortnite when I saw it was an old map, and it's oh my god, it's so much fun.
The what I didn't think about it until one of my guys at work told me, because it's so open. Like
Mhm.
it's so open. And he's like, yeah, because back then they didn't have no build. So
Right,
so
which is the
everything was
best
based
thing
on
they've done
build.
for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everything was based on build, so it's completely wide open.
Yes. And I remember when one of the biggest reasons why I got out of playing Fortnite is because I used to practice building. And I
Yeah.
feel like such an idiot, a nerd saying this, but I used to sit in front of my PlayStation and actually just go to the creator mode and just
Yeah.
practice building and watch all these videos to get better at building. It's like, dude, awesome. Now, once I felt comfortable getting all these build fights, then people got really good at editing. And I'm like, dude, screw this. I'm not putting all this time and effort into this, man. This is insane. It's
Watching people build and edit is crazy to me.
it's because if you actually try to do it, it's so hard. Like
Yeah.
it's so hard to do.
Yeah.
That's why this no build mode is so much fun.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And again, it's really difficult in these maps because they're so open. But so Mateo still likes to play build, and I just let him know, like, hey, I don't build. And we were playing with his buddy today, and they both got knocked. And they're like, just build, just build. I go, I don't build.
I know. L2.
I think it's just
Try. I don't know.
I can put up
Whatever.
walls. I got pretty good at putting up walls all around me, so I can do that pretty quickly. But even then, like, I don't know how to change the material, so it's always wood first. So like that doesn't help
Oh,
either.
that's funny.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's so many times like I will be fighting someone and they put me in a box. I'm like, well, how? What am I supposed to? I don't know what I'm doing.
Yes.
It's the opposite.
That's fun. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
I got a couple of my buddies in the Fortnite, but then or Call of Duty 3 just came out literally 2 days ago. So we played a lot of zombies for it.
Okay. Speaking of that, I've been all over TikTok, and people are just shitting on that game.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough because you see all the cool things that Fortnite's been doing. And it's Call of Duty's, it's still fun. I still enjoy it. But I think that when COVID hit, literally Call of Duty Warzone could not have come out at a more perfect time. I mean, what's everybody doing? They're sitting at home doing nothing. So
Yeah.
play video games.
Yeah.
And it was so new, it was so awesome, it was so much fun. They just haven't done anything to improve it. And of course, I want to say that it's because a lot of cheaters are on there. Part of me says because I suck at it, but I don't think I suck that bad to where I can't get a win in like 100 games, but maybe I just suck at it.
I don't know if you know who this guy is. His name's Dr. Disrespect.
Oh, he's hilarious.
Dude.
He is so funny.
He was shitting on trying to get in early access.
I saw that, trying to get in it. He's like, up, nope, up.
Proceed. Proceed. Nope. Just kept doing the same thing over and over. Let me see if you can hear it.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's not it. Dude, it's I was like, again, I don't even know the guy. Really.
Application needs to restart to launch Modern Warfare 3 campaign.
I think it because he goes insane.
Proceed.
You got to watch some of his
Early
Fortnite videos.
Yeah.
Proceed. Waiting for a Kabanch in the Call of Duty 3. Boom. Proceed. Boom. Modern Warfare 3. Jump in now.
This whole time he's saying jump in now, and he just keeps doing the same shit.
Yes.
Over and over.
Have you seen some of his old Fortnite videos? Because he was not very good at Fortnite. Now, mind you, he was still better than anything I'll ever dream to be.
Yeah.
But playing against good players, oh my God, his outbursts were so funny.
Dude, so
he got so mad.
I have been my TikTok now is him, Tim the Tap Man, and one other guy.
Nick Merckx.
Yeah, and they used to play with Ninja, who man, Ninja is the biggest baby. I don't know. I mean, he's super popular, but he's such a baby. And everyone talks about because it's him, Nick and Tim the Tap Man, they're playing now together, Dr. Disrespect. And everyone in the comments says it's so much better when Ninja's not around. These guys just like have so much fun.
So funny.
It even seems like they hate him when they're when
That's
he's playing.
hilarious because he was the kind of the guy who started this whole video game revolution online battle royale thing. So
Yeah, but yeah, it's cool to see like really good streamers, especially when they're like playing together, because the TikToks they make are them just like goofing around. It's not even necessarily their play, but it's just them messing around and laughing. Like, I don't know how you could do it because I haven't found it, but there is apparently in one of the modes, and I don't know where it is, you can play golf on one of the court on there's a golf course on the Fortnite map, and you can play golf because they were like hitting, it looked like a tomato or something, like hitting a tomato, and
that's awesome.
one of them got a hole in one. But yeah, it's fun just to like, because they're adults and they're just like playing video games, having fun.
But see, that's the funny, that's the cool thing about Fortnite is that it's created all these other little modes to do, whilst because some people don't like farming for 20 minutes only to lose the first battle, the first fight they get in. It feels like a waste of time.
Yeah,
so they've adjusted to what other people have said that would make the game more enjoyable, and Call of Duty just hasn't done that, man. They haven't. It's frustrating too.
I don't know enough about Call of Duty to understand sometimes what people are talking about. But they talked about this one TikTok I saw. He talked about whatever the game mode was. I don't know if it was campaign or something, that they changed the way the campaign is, because it used to be like, it sounded like it used to be like Grand Theft Auto where you could like do all these things. But now they changed it where like this guy was complaining and bitching about it. He's like, every mission is like exactly the same. You're either planting something or blowing something up. He goes, nothing is different. Everything's the same all the time.
You're running around hiding, shooting people.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no real skill. It's more the story than anything. And plus, I haven't even touched the new campaign on it because I heard it's only like 3 hours long. I'm like, come on now.
You paid money for this game?
I did. Don't tell my wife though.
It's all right. As far as
she'll find out on the credit card bill in a month. Like, Gary, what is this $74 charge? I don't know. It must have been a mistake. I'll call him and figure it out.
I was just gonna say she won't find out because wives don't listen to this podcast. I found so.
Oh, good. Thank God. No,
I think Andrea will probably listen on her. Maybe she'll listen on her flight, but she's also flying with one of her best friends, so they might not. They'll just talk, and so I don't know. That's usually when she listens. But now she's been listening to 3 different dads because she knows all 3 of us on that podcast, so she listens to that one.
Nice.
That podcast, by the way, I made a note of it when we did it, the last episode we did. I said, if you're like friends with people, like whoever, it could be a group of people or a couple people, start a podcast, because more times than not, it's going to make you guys better friends, because that's what's happening in this stupid dad podcast we started just because we wanted. It started as once a month, and now we do it once a week. And I was friends with these guys, but now I'm like really good friends with them, and it's just because we sit and talk for an hour.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming with the name of the podcast, you guys are going through the same craziness of being dads. You're experiencing the same things that everybody else is going through, that you think there's no freaking way people are experiencing these exact same things. Oh my gosh, you guys really are.
Yeah.
Let's be friends about it. So
let's be friends about it.
Because just some of the stuff that I go through with my kids, it's like, there's no freaking way that other people are dealing with the same shit that I am. Like, it's like, I just like one of my kids, I'm not going to say the name. She is walking around with no underwear on, just walking around the house. It's like, what are you doing? I didn't want to wear any. What?
Well, guess what?
Go put some on.
You need to.
There's no way other people aren't doing that exact same thing, but I find out that happens a lot.
Sure, you can find a nice subreddit to talk about that.
I'm not gonna search that in my. I don't want to end up on any lists.
Very good point. I didn't think about that. Oh, yeah. Do you use Reddit at all?
I used to when Marvel was real, for some Marvel movies, and when I was real big in the first the first wave of Marvel movies. but then after Endgame, I haven't really been on it very much. I was one that used to actively search out spoilers for movies
I love that. I don't know why.
just because now it spoiled some of the movies for me. But then I was like, you know what? Screw it. I have to watch them. I have to listen to them. I have to find them. I'm just going to read everything. Read all the spoilers, even the craziest ideas, because then I might read the right one, I might not, and I won't actually be spoiled.
I
That's my reasoning.
I when we would watch a Marvel movie, I would always go on like when a character would pop up. I don't know enough about Marvel besides like the main character, but like the bad guys, I don't know bad guys. So or villains, I guess. It's not like I'm four if I say bad guys. Uh, and I would Google their name because I don't know who they are or what they do or their powers or anything. So I'd always Google it to find out because it makes it more interesting when I actually
Yeah.
know what it is. But I didn't care about spoilers.
And like I got a group of guys that I go see all the Marvel movies with, and we actually went last Thursday and saw the Marvels, the new
Yeah.
one that just came out, and it was okay.
I
But
was just gonna ask you.
went out to see them.
I feel like the hype for all these are just it's just waning now.
It
Just
is.
on a
So
downward.
because what they did with hyping up the end game, with 27 different movies that all combine into one final, it was unbelievable, man. It was so fascinating. And how they tied it all together it was remarkable. So how can you top that? And then before this strike,
Yeah.
the writer strike, there was a lot of things that were coming out. There was so much. Like I was at the point where I want all of it. Like freaking inject that into my veins. I want
Yeah.
every TV series. I want all of this, all these characters. Yes, yes, yes. And then it's like, I mean, they're getting pulled in so many different directions where this storyline's here, this storyline's here, this storyline's here. Are they going to tie it all back together like they did with the first one with Endgame or what? So it's kind of really confusing now. And then especially after seeing the Marvels on Thursday, their end credit scene, it's like they're introducing this. How does that deal with
Mm.
what the Loki series just did, or what's going on with WandaVision, or what happened with the Falcon and Winter Soldier, or even the Eternals movie that came out, how they're going to bring Blade in, or there's just so many different webs,
Yeah.
and there's no real main set. This is what it's going to lead into. So
My,
it's
my
just
fe-
different.
yeah,
Just
my
different.
fear is this whole entire run can only end one way. And it's a feeling of unfinishedness because
Yes.
they're not at no point are they going to wrap it up in a bow because they're going to keep trying to do these things and then someone at the top's going to be like nope we're done we're
But
done with this.
but man, how they wrapped it up with a bow and end game. It's like
Yeah,
it was so good, man.
I
I
just think
I I'll never forget going through those years and looking forward to the movie. And then once Infinity War happened, it's like I have to wait an entire year to figure out what's gonna happen next. With Loki, it's like, all right, I just gotta wait a week. I can wait a week. But no, it was yeah. I don't know. I'll still watch it. Don't get me wrong. I'm hooked, man. I've been on it since 2009.
yeah, it is one of those things that I wasn't never super into it and Mateo just watched a movie without me. So
And you're like, what's going on, Mateo?
yeah, I was like, wait, is that the newest one? He goes, yeah. I go, did you watch it by yourself? We all watch those movies. He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right.
So
That was it.
some perspective leading up to Infinity War and Endgame. My buddy Mickey and I literally spent 3 straight weekends, Saturday and Sunday, watching every single one of those movies in order, starting at 8 o'clock in the morning and not ending till midnight. Then at midnight we played video games, woke up the next morning, ate, and started all of them. We had it all planned out. But dude, that was what that it was so awesome, man. And then how everything tied together. Just a little joke here or a little comment here. It's like I remember that from that movie
Yeah.
2 years ago. I'm not really getting it that much with them anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I, I feel like it's gonna be like The Walking Dead. At some point, people are just done.
I
Like,
stopped. Yeah.
yeah, like I think Andrew and I watched like 9 seasons of this thing, and then one season we just never started it,
Yep.
and that was the end of it. And we were always excited for like, oh, there's this spinoff. Oh, there's this show. I told her, I go, Andrea, did you know? I saw a commercial or something. It looked like there was a spinoff of just Daryl. And
No idea.
I don't know if that's true or not, but that's the way it looked. I go, yes. Unless it was just yeah, Daryl Dixon. Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. That's what it's
But see,
called.
I'm the same way. I was real big into it. I used to watch it down here, lights off, get all into it, and then one season I'm just like, I'm good. Like I don't need to watch this anymore. I have no idea what happens. The
Yeah.
last thing I remember was I think Coral or whatever the little boy's name was. He got shot and died.
Yeah. I,
That's the last thing I remember.
I don't
I don't
know.
know.
So this I don't know if this is considered jumping the shark or not, but man, season 1 came out this year. Season 1, The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. This is this is the write up of it. Following his departure from the Commonwealth, Daryl Dixon washes ashore in France,
What?
raising the ire of a splintered but growing autocratic movement centered in Paris and endangering a young boy at the heart of a benevolent, but how do you say that? Benevolent religious movement. Yeah, France. It's in France.
Yet again, another reason why I'm good. Miss me with that, man.
Yeah. I mean, every once in a while when there's nothing on TV, a lot of times what happens at night, Andrew's on her phone and I watch what I want to watch. A lot of time now it's been Brooklyn Nine-Nine. But I'll watch American Horror Story. So I was watching that. I think there's like 4 episodes that came out around Halloween, so I'm on the last one there. But every once in a while, I think about just putting on The Walking Dead because she's not paying attention anyway, and just like starting it over. Because I asked her if she ever wanted to do it, and and she's like, no, I don't think so. So maybe I'll do that and report to no one because I don't think
I
anybody cares.
I got one for you. So speaking of superheroes, have you watched The Boys?
I heard about that. I have
It
not.
is awesome. I'm going through and watching it again because they just had this new spin-off series called Gen V,
Okay.
and it was awesome. But The Boys, dude, it is awesome. Literally, the third 3 minutes into it is one of the wildest into the very first episode, one of the absolute wildest scenes I've ever seen in any show ever in my life. I don't want to spoil it for you, man, but you got to check it out. I would just wholeheartedly recommend The
The
Boys.
Boys.
It's so good. It's so good. It's basically about people who are superheroes or they have superhuman abilities that are this company contracts them out to do things, and but like they're addicted to drugs and sex and killing people and doing whatever. It's so good. It's
Hmm.
so good. And then you got people that can't stand them, and you got people that look up to them, and it's a really, really, really good show. I'd recommend it.
The Boys. All right. I'll write
The
it down.
Boys. Put that one on instead of Walking Dead.
Walking Dead, just real quick, now has 6 spinoffs. So
And if you were to say, hey, Gary, I'll give you $1 million and name one of those spinoffs. Even we just talked about one, Daryl Dixon. I wouldn't even be able to fully name that.
I knew of one because we would watch it. What was good about when it had 2, The Walking Dead was on like where normal shows would be on and finish in the spring or whatever. And then Fear the Walking Dead would
Okay.
start in October. So you always had like Walking Dead that you could watch. So then they have those 2, a Daryl Dixon show, another show where Rick and Michonne series, one where it's Negan and Maggie,
Which
called
is so crazy.
called Walking Dead Dead City. Yeah.
Uh, Did you see where Negan literally killed Maggie's boyfriend? Like, what the? Now you're friends with him. Now what's going on with this?
I don't know.
I
But
don't
it's
feel like sitting through 7 hours of show to watch that. I don't know if it's checked this. So if somebody killed your friend, do you think, hey man, there's some chance we'll be friends again? I'll be friends with this guy. Screw
in a brutal way.
that. Yeah, that's pretty nasty.
Oh, speaking of,
It was
so
comic book accurate though.
it is
That
very
was
much.
comic book
It
accurate.
is very much. Yeah. The Walking Dead World Beyond, but that ended in 2021, so that's no more. Anthology series called Tales of the Walking Dead. So you have Walking Dead stuff all over. But speaking of that, as we're still on this, I had my buddy on, Andy, the one who helped me start this podcast. He was talking about his kids, and he named his youngest daughter Lucille.
Oh my god!
after that bat, like
After
that's
the bat,
that's because we talked about Walking Dead quite a bit because he was really into it too. But yeah, Lucille.
I mean, it's a pretty cool name, but if you actually Google the bat, pretty.
And
morbid.
then he named his other daughter. They named his I forget why they named her what they named her though, but it was something very similar. Like not like a bat wrapped in barbed wire similar, but like
right.
something like that. I think it's Maryland, but I don't know why. I have to figure that out. Yeah. Yeah, well, I guess I won't be watching 6 spinoffs of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Are there shows that you wish you would have watched and now it's like there's like 12 seasons of it, you're like, I don't know if I can do that. Like for me it's Breaking Bad. Like Breaking Bad.
Oh, have you watched that before?
I've never watched it and I'm just like, I
that
don't
is
know, man.
So good.
I know that's what everyone says, but
dude,
it's like
the story is so good. And
God,
plus,
this
like,
cat scared the shit out of me, by the way.
Oh, yeah, they own the place. But going back to Breaking Bad, what's fascinating about that is I started watching that again, and I had to actually stop watching it because it made me feel it gave me anxiety. Because when I watched it before, it was okay. I was married, obviously, but I had no kids or whatnot. So it's like the decisions he made, I couldn't empathize for.
Okay.
But now, like, seeing him make some of these decisions and watching the acting of his wife and his son and how they act and how he's lying to them, it's like, oh my god! Like, even though I know how it all ends, it's just like it's so good though, Lorenzo, man. It is such a greatly written story. It's greatly acted, and the ending is phenomenal.
Do you have it? So do you have anything like that you think about?
No, I'll be honest with you, not really. The last show, the Marvel shows, I watch all of them. Loki was great, but no, I don't really know many of them. Maybe, what's that one on Netflix right now that everybody's talking about? Stranger Things.
You've never watched any Stranger Things?
I haven't watched any of that. Is that good?
Yeah, we watched the first 3 seasons. I thought it was good. But for whatever reason, we just don't finish shit. Yeah. And I don't know what it is.
Well, like for me, it's we go back to time. I just don't like whenever I want to watch my shows or watch anything, it's at like 10 o'clock at night. And at that time, I either want to play video games or go to bed or do something I can't really say on the podcast because so those 3 things take precedent over starting a new show. And Cindy's not really into the same types of shows I am. So if I'm going to start a new show, I'd try to find it where something that she would want to watch too.
You guys watch stuff together?
We used to.
Yeah.
Now we just go to bed. It's like we're exhausted.
Yeah, we started we watched another show called Sweet Tooth on Netflix, and the second season came out, and we started it like 4 episodes, and then we just never went back to it. Like it's really good. We
watched the last big thing we watched together is we binge watched Friends.
Oh yeah.
R.I.P. Chandler. But we watched that together. We watched Jane the Virgin.
Yeah.
But we stopped watching that. But what was crazy about Jane the Virgin, so I don't know why I'm thinking about this, is that in one of the scenes in that, one of the last episodes we watched, She was dating some guy, and all of a sudden it switched to her date, and it was a guy that I knew. Like I knew him as a human. Like
Oh, really?
from my area. Yeah, it's like, oh my god, I know this guy. That can't be him. And I Google him, like, holy crap, yeah, it really is him. So I sent a message on Facebook. I'm like, look here, you all famous guy and whatnot. But it was pretty weird, pretty random.
It is weird when you see people you know and you're like, damn, I used to hang out
Yeah.
with that dude or whatever.
And I'm watching him right now and eating Cheetos, getting fat, and he's sitting here hanging out with actresses.
Well, that's why you're doing jujitsu now, Gary.
Yeah. Well, I said I'm gonna do it. We'll see if I actually step up.
Oh,
and
it's set
start.
up. Yeah, it's
It's
set
set
up.
up.
Just had to get there.
Just got to do it.
All right. Well, Gary, I appreciate you coming on, man. Especially because it's super last minute. But I feel like that's how all my guests have been coming on lately. So all the actual adults that I get on this podcast, professional people, I feel like I gotta schedule that shit out way in advance. And you guys, I can just be like, hey, come on.
Yep. But yep, I can do it. Just gotta figure it out around the schedule. But yeah, there's nothing about me says adult. No way.
No, you're a gym teacher. You're good.
Yeah, I'm a gym teacher, baby. Smartest teacher in the building.
You can go to bed right now and wake up and go to work without changing.
I've never done that before. No, never done that.
All right, man. Well, thanks again.
Hey, no problem, buddy. This was fun.
All right, see ya.
Later, buddy.
Thanks again to my guest, Gary Allen, for coming on the podcast today. It was great. I was just about to say catching up, but I just spent 4 months with him every day almost. It was every day because once the season starts, we are practicing, or we are talking at least every day. So it really wasn't catching up. It was just figuring out what he does now that football's over. But it was good. It was good to talk to him, and I'm always eager to talk to him about his love of Call of Duty and video games and Marvel movies, because that is a big part of his life, along with his children, I guess. I would be remiss if I didn't say that. But yeah, thanks again, Gary, for coming on the podcast. Thanks, as always, thanks to all of you for listening, liking, sharing, subscribing to the podcast. Help us keep growing this thing as we inch closer to 200. Get us to 150 subscribers on YouTube. Just hit subscribe. If you're watching right now and you're not subscribed, hit subscribe. You'll never miss an episode. Really, all it does is let you know when I put one out, and that's about it. So hit subscribe, please, and we'll continue growing this thing. Subscribe wherever you're listening to this podcast, because that'll help you also not miss an episode. And keep downloading these things. Sometimes I tell people too, even if you don't listen to my podcast, to this podcast, subscribe and just download. You don't even have to listen to it. Just hit that download, let it download, and erase it from your memory for forever. Just download it twice a week, and I'll survive that way too. So thanks again, and I'm excited to see where we go from here, and we can only go up in reality. Not to say we are down, but we have plenty of room to go up. So let's keep chugging forward, keep pulling this nerdball community, and we'll keep getting guests for you to listen to twice a week. So as always, thanks to Real JP Multimedia, Cuttafish Graphics, Big Daddy Graphics, and Perrysburg Junior High STEM Lab for always helping out the podcast. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.